Hello friends, my name is Manoj Chaudhary and welcome to this next session on relations. So friends, this is the lecture number 3 on relations. So before this lecture, we already talked about what is Cartesian product, right? So every one of you know how to find A cross A, then B cross B, or something like A cross B or B cross A. So in lecture number 1, we discussed all about Cartesian product like A cross A, B cross B, A cross B, B cross A, right? Okay, then in the lecture number 2, so this one was the lecture number 1. In lecture number 2, if you remember, we talked about the definition of relation, which kind of Cartesian products or the elements comes under a relation. Then we also discussed what is domain, range and codomain of a relation. So right, so friends, in lecture number 1 we discussed about the Cartesian product. Then in lecture number 2 we discussed about the definition, domain, range and codomain of a relation. Now this is the time to increase more knowledge related to relations, and in which here I am going to add different types of relations. तर मित्रांनो, आज आपण different types of relations या ठिकाणी स्टडी करणार आहोत. Before that, let me explain you one very important point related to relations. So this is the note number 1. So I request every one of you, please write down this very important note. If this A and B are the given two sets, and every one of you know the relation always belongs to this Cartesian product A cross B, and let's say the number of elements under the set are M and the number of elements under the set B are N, then number of elements, maximum number of elements under any relations are always 2 raised to m into n. For example, let's say there is a set A with the number of elements under set A are 3, then there is a set B with number of elements under the set B are, let's say, 4, then the number of elements under that relation are 2 raised to 3 into 4, that is 2 raised to 12. These many number of elements are present in the relation. So for the sake of understanding, if I reduce this 4, this becomes 2, 3 to the 6, so this becomes 2 raised to 6. So please observe, there is a set A with the 3 number of elements, then there is a set B with 2 number of elements, then the number of elements under that relation are 2 raised to 3 into 2, that is 2 raised to 6, and every one of you know 2 raised to 6 means 64. So 64 number of elements or the ordered pairs are present in the relation. This is the meaning of this particular note number 1. Okay, then what is the note number 2? Let's say there exists a relation only over a set A itself. That is, I am talking about a relation which belongs to the set itself called A cross A, and let's say the number of elements under that set A are M, then the number of elements under that relation are 2 raised to m into m, that is 2 raised to m square is the case. For example, let's say there are 3 elements present in the sets A, like A, B, C, then n of A in this case is 3, then the total number of elements are 2 raised to 3 raised to 2, or we can say 2 raised to 9 number of elements are present under that relation. So this is the way we can find out how many number of relations are possible over that maximum number of relations possible for the given sets. So in simple language, if A includes the m number of elements, B includes the n number of elements, then the maximum number of relations possible are 2 raised to mn. This is the thing that you have to highlight. So maximum number of relations possible are 2 raised to mn, right? Okay, then if it is a Cartesian product with itself, or the relation is only belongs to the set A, then the total number of relations possible are 2 raised to m into n, or we can say 2 raised to m square. So just remember this particular fact. This might will occur in one of the objective, right? So now let's focus on the today's most important topic, that is types of relations. So friends, let me tell you here, in JEE main examination, so you will observe maximum number of questions on types of relations. So please go and cross check the last 10 and 15 years of question papers, and you will realize the maximum number of questions on relations are asked on the types of relation. So make sure you understand these various types of relations in detail, and later on with the examples we will understand these types of relations too. Okay, so the first type is void relation. So friends, what is the meaning of void? Void means empty, right? And every one of you know, if the set A is given, then phi is always, let's say if it is a set A with the elements 1 2, then every one of you know phi is an integral part of the set. Phi always belongs to that set. Therefore phi is always a relation over the A cross A or the set. So we can say phi is always a relation of A cross A, right? Okay, so therefore this phi is called empty relation, or this phi is also called void relation, because phi is always a part of all kind of sets. Therefore phi is always in relation with relation which exists there, that belongs to A cross A. So phi is a kind of a relation that always belongs to the Cartesian product A cross A. Therefore phi is always a relation, and it is called empty relation, or it is also called void relation. Then the type number 2, universal relation. So if A is the given set, then quickly find out the Cartesian product A cross A. For example, there are two elements present in A, that is AB. Then quickly find out A cross A. Every one of you know how to find Cartesian product now. So this is A given in the form of AB. Let's find the Cartesian product. So finding a Cartesian product means all about finding the ordered pairs possible between these two brackets. So first ordered pair that exists is A comma A. Then the second ordered pair is AB. Then the next ordered pair is BA, and the last one is BB, right? Okay, so then this is maximum possible number of ordered pair possible under A cross A. So friend, this A cross A is called Cartesian product with itself, and all the elements under this Cartesian product itself is called universal relation. So this relation, or the, if I say R in this case is AA, AB, BA and BB, then we say this R is nothing but A cross A itself, and then it is called a universal relation. So universal relation means all the elements, and in simple language, let me tell you this thing in a simple language. If all the elements of the relation R exist in A cross A, so if you observe all the elements under the say R are present in the A cross A, then it is called universal relation, right? Okay, then the next one, very important, inverse relation, denoted by the symbol R raised to -1, but don't read it like that, read it as R inverse. So read it as R inverse. Now if A and B are the given two sets, and R is a relation from set A to set B, denoted by the ordered pair AB, where this A belongs to the set A and this B belongs to the set B, right? So if this is the relation given, then this inverse relation is always change in the order. It comes from B to A. It is a relation between the sets B to A. So please observe, just change the given ordered pair. So just change the position of the elements of the ordered pair. So B becomes A and A becomes B, or the first component becomes second component and second component becomes first component. Then we say these two are the inverse relations of each other. So let's understand this concept of inverse relation using this example. So let's say this is the set A with the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now this relation is with the ordered pair x comma y, and this is the formula which is given, which is relating these two ordered pair component x and y. So x plus 2y is given equal to 10, and x and y both belongs to this A. Then how to find R inverse? Okay, so let me explain you this thing in detail. So this is the main relation which exists, x plus 2y equal to 10. Simply do a calculation in this way. So 2y is equal to 10 minus x, or y in this case is 10 minus x divided by 2. So this is the interrelation between x and y. Now friends, what is the first value of x which is possible here is 1. So if you substitute x equal to 1, y becomes 10 minus 1 divided by 2, which is coming equal to 9 by 2, which is a p by q form, and this p by q form is never a part of a set. Therefore discard this value. We don't want a rational number because the relation always belongs to a cross a. If you find this Cartesian product, you will never observe this kind of rational numbers in it. So x equal to 1 is not a perfect kind of a digit that defines the value of y, which is a fractional value 9 by 2. Neglect this 9 by 2 because it will never be a part of a cross a. If it is not a part of a cross a, then it is also not a part of relation. Okay, then the next value is, let's say, 2. X is equal to 2. Now substitute the value of x over here and find out the corresponding value of y. So it's a 10 minus 2 divided by 2, and in this case it is 8 by 2 is coming equal to 4. And please observe this 4 is a part of the set A, and definitely it will be a part of a cross a. So here I got the first answer. X is 2, y is 4. So friends, x is 2, then y value is 4. So the first ordered pair is 2 comma 4 under that relation, right? So now with these two example, you can easily guess 3 will not work because for 3 there will be a rational number. Then directly focus on the value of 4. So, right, 5 will not work. Then directly focus on the value of 6 because for the every odd number 1, 3, 5, you will get a p by q kind of relation. So friends, here I am using the next value of x, that is x equal to 4. Why? Because for x equal to 3 you will get a p by q kind of value, so just neglect it. So x equal to 4, substituting here in this formula, so this is 10 minus 4 divided by 2, so it's a 6 by 2 which is coming equal to 3. So the ordered pair is when x is 4, then y value is 3. So friends, when x is 4, then y value is 3. The relation, ordered pair under the relation is 4, 3, right? Okay, then the last one is x equal to 6. So y is 10 minus 6 divided by 2, which leads to 2. So the ordered pair under the relation is 6 comma 2. When x is 6, y is 2. And understand, I am neglecting 1, I am neglecting 3, neglecting 5. The reason is quite simple. All these values leads to p by q kind of situation, that is a rational number which is not allowed because it will not be a part of a cross a. If it is not part of a cross a, then it is not a part of the relation. So overall, what is the relation that we got here? So the first ordered pair is 2, 4, right? The first ordered pair is 2, 4. Then the second ordered pair is 4, 3. Am I correct? Yes. The next ordered pair is 4, 3. And the next ordered pair is this 6, 2. And here we got the relation. But friends, how to obtain its inverse relation? Obtaining an inverse relation is a quite simple job. This is a first ordered pair denoted by x. This is the value of y. Just do a simple thing. Convert this x into y and y into x, right? So just switch over their position. So this 4 becomes 2 and 2 becomes 4, right? Okay, in the next ordered pair, changing this position of 3 and 4. In the next ordered pair, I am changing the position of 2 and 6. And here we got the inverse relation of the given relation. So if r is the given relation, this r raised to minus 1, or it is also called inverse relation of r, right? Okay, so I hope every one of you got this simple type. Okay, then let's switch over to this type number 4, and please mark all the types from this type number 4 are extremely important for your objective examination. The first one is identity relation. So friends, what is the meaning of identity? If all the elements under the given set A satisfies this kind of ordered pair, so it is nothing but every element, so let me read, every element of set A is related to itself. So every element of set A is related to itself. So this kind of ordered pairs you will observe. So please note down here. If I say this is the set A with the elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if 1 is in relation with the 1, so the first ordered pair is 1, 1. So here the ordered pair for 1 is 1, 1. Then ordered pair for 2 is 2, 2. Then 3, 3. Then 4, 4. So please observe, here every element is related to itself. 1 is related to itself, 2 is in relation with the 2 itself, 3 is in relation with this 3, and 4 is in relation with this 4. If you observe this kind of relation which relates the digit with itself, then this kind of relation is called identity relation. So friends, this kind of relation is called identity relation for all the elements which belongs to the set A. Okay, now one important confusion that you have to avoid in the examination is this 1 1 2 2 3 3 is not an identity relation. So let me explain you the reason behind it. So friends, there are total 4 elements present in the set A. So please observe 1 2 3 4, all these 4 elements. So make sure that all the elements of A prepare this kind of ordered pair. Means if 4 elements are there, then you will observe the 4 ordered pair with itself, like 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. And in this example number 1 or note number 1, this 4 comma 4 is missing. So please observe, 4 comma 4 is missing. Not even a single ordered pair you can miss under an identity relation. This is very important point. It's not like that 1 1 2 2 3 3 is present. Make sure that 4 is present, therefore 4 4 is also there. If in the given set 5 is present, then make sure that 5 5 is also present. Then and then only it is called identity relation. So friends, here in this note number 2, whatever is this relation is given is not an identity relation. The reason is simple, 4 4 is not present in it. Okay, then this in this note number 2, please observe, this is not also an identity relation. Now you will challenge me, sir, there is a 1 1 present, 2 2 present, 3 3 present, 4 4 present. All the ordered pair with itself are present in this relation. Then why it is not identity relation? So friends, if it is an identity relation, then make sure that it is ordered pair with itself. This is nothing but the digit with itself, right? And there is a one more extra element which is given here, which is 1 3, doesn't look like a comma a, therefore this is not an identity relation. So this is a very interesting type. Make sure that if it is an identity relation, then there exists a comma a combination of all the elements that belongs to set A. I am talking about all elements of set A. Right? So if all the elements of set A satisfies this kind of relation, so I am talking about all elements of set A satisfies this kind of relation, then and then only it is called identity relation, right? Okay, and note down this note number 1 and note number 2. These two are not identity relations, and ask yourself why these two are not identity relations again. Okay, then the type number 5, very important one for your examination point of view. The type number 5 is reflexive relation. What is a reflexive relation? So reflexive relation looks like an identity relation. So this is A comma A belongs to the relation for all A belongs to A. Then it is called reflexive relation. देन मित्रांनो, तुम्ही इथे नक्की कन्फ्यूज व्हाल की मग आयडेंटिटी रिलेशन आणि रिफ्लेक्सिव्ह रिलेशनमध्ये फरक काय. इफ इट इज अ आयडेंटिटी रिलेशन, then we say A comma A belongs to the relation. Then in case of reflexive relation, I am doing the same thing. A comma A belongs to that relation. Then what is the difference between identity relation and reflexive relation? So let's try to find out. Maths is a very interesting one. Every element of A is related to itself. So friends, once again here I am taking the same example. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 elements are present in set A. If you observe, 1 is in relation with the 1, 2 is in relation with the 2, 3 is in relation with the 3, 4 is in relation with the 4. So let me discuss this first relation R1. And friend, this first relation R1 is identity relation. right? And this is also a reflexive relation. This is also a reflexive relation. So right, it shows both the things because all the elements of set A are related with the itself. So therefore this is identity relation as well as this is reflexive relation. But what about R2? If you observe, 1 is relation with 1, 2 is in relation with the 2, 3 is in relation with the 3. Okay, what about this? So if you observe, this 4 comma 4 is missing, therefore this is not an identity relation, and even this is not an reflexive relation because 4 comma 4 is missing in it. Make sure that all the elements of set A represent the ordered pair with itself or the relation with itself. 1 1 2 2 3 3, but 4 4 is missing, therefore this is not an identity, this is even not a reflexive one. Now the interesting one is R3. 1 1 is in relation with the 1. So here I covered 1. The 2 is in relation with the 2. Here I covered 2. 3 is in relation with the 3. So here I covered 3. 4 is in relation with the 4. Here I covered 4 also. But one extra element is also given. We don't know about it. But if the extra element is present, then this is not an identity relation. But definitely it is a reflexive relation, because in reflexive relation you can keep any extra element. There is no doubt about that. There is no problem about that. But make sure all the elements of set A are in relation with itself. And if you observe, 1 is covered, 2 is covered, 3 is covered, 4 is covered, and all these 4 elements are in relation with itself. There might be an extra element in that relation, and this R3 is reflexive, but because of this extra element 1 3, so please observe, because of this extra element 1 3, it is not identity. So it is not identity relation, but it is reflexive relation. So friends, please note down all these small factors which differentiates this identity function from the reflexive relation. So identity relation and reflexive relations are altogether different. You can say identity, every identity relation is a reflexive relation, but its converse, that is reflexive relation, is not an identity relation. So once again here I am repeating very important sentence for you. Every identity relation is a reflexive. Every identity relation is reflexive, but every reflexive relation cannot be an identity relation. So make sure you understand the meaning of this wording through this R3. So if you take a R3 as an example, it is a reflexive, but it is not identity, right? Okay, and if you take this example R1, so this R1 indicates identity function is a reflexive, and this example R3 indicates reflexive but not identity. So through this R1, understand this pattern, identity as a reflexive, right? And through this R3, understand this reflexive, which is not identity. Okay, chalo, let's switch over to this very important type number 6. Mark this as very important one, symmetric relation. So what is a symmetric relation? So let's say the ordered pair A comma B belongs to the relation R. Then the reverse ordered pair B comma A also belongs to the same relation R. Then it is called symmetric relation. So once again here I am repeating, A comma B belongs to this relation, then the reverse ordered pair B comma A also belongs to the same relation, then and then only it is called symmetric relation. Okay. So the ordered pair and its reverse ordered pair belongs to the relation, then we say these two are symmetric relations. So already we talked about the inverse relation. So we can say every inverse relation is also a symmetric relation. Okay, let's understand this concept using this example. So this is the set A given with the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. right? And let's say this is the relation R. 1 is in relation with the 2, 2 is in relation with the 1, 3 is in relation with the 4, and 4 is in relation with the 3. So please observe these first two ordered pairs. So friends, 1 2 belongs to the relation, right? And 2 1 also belongs to the same relation. So if I assume this one as A, this one as a B, in the second ordered pair you will observe B comma A. So 1 comma 2 is a part of relation, then 2 comma 1 is also part of relation. So here A becomes B and B becomes A. Even though you interchange this position of A and B, even though you reverse the order of A and B, still it is present in the relation itself. So 1 2 2 1, I'm talking about 1 2 2 1. Okay, then let's talk about this 2 3 4 4 3. So please observe this 3 4 belongs to the relation. 3 4 is a part of relation. Then this 4 3 is also a part of that same relation. So even if you change the order in the ordered pair, or even if you change the digits in the ordered pair, both the digits or both the things are present in the relation itself, then it is called symmetric relation. So in simple language, A comma B belongs to the relation, then B comma A belongs to the relation. So these both the cases belongs to the same relation, then it is called symmetric relation. Okay, then this is the important note that you have to write down. Identity relation is always a symmetric one. Why? Every one of you know the identity relation is like a 1 1 2 2 3 3. So friends, if I take any particular ordered pair from it, 2 2, even if you change their positions, it looks like 2 2, and both belongs to this relation R. Both belongs to the relation R. Therefore, this is the sentence. Identity relation is always a symmetric relation, right? Okay. Next sentence is universal relation is always a symmetric relation. So every one of you know what is a universal relation. It is always A cross A. If I say there is two elements present in AB, then every one of you know how to find A cross A. So it is nothing but AB with AB combination. So the all possible ordered pairs are AA, AB, BA and BB, and you will observe under this universal relation A cross A. This is called the universal relation A cross A, and in which you will observe AA and BB. So right, so it is AA and BB. This is nothing but reflexive relation. But what is your observation about this AB and BA? Both are present in the relation. So AB belongs to the relation and BA also belongs to the relation. So please observe, AB belongs to the relation, BA also belongs to the relation. So even if you change the position of the terms in the ordered pair, both the things are present in the relation itself. So this thing is called symmetric relation. So friends, therefore universal relation is also a symmetric relation. Identity relation is always a symmetric relation, and above all what you have to remember is if A comma B belongs to the relation, then the change in the order also belongs to the same relation. If it is a case, then it is called symmetric relation. Okay, then let's switch out to the type number 7. Very important one for your examination point of view. So make it important one. So transitive relation. So what is a transitive relation? Let me explain you this thing in a simple language. If A comma B belongs to the relation and the B comma C, this ordered pair also belongs to the relation. So what here I am talking about, A and B is a part of relation, B and C are part of relation. So both these structures are a part of relation. So A comma B belongs to relation, B comma C also belongs to the same relation. Then make sure this A comma C also present in the same relation. If this is the case, then we say it is a transitive kind of relation. So So once again here I am explaining you, if this A comma B ordered pair belongs to the relation, then B comma C also belongs to the same relation, then directly this first one and the third one in the list. If you take this A, B, C as in order, so A is the first, C is the second, third. So A in relation with the C is nothing but a transitive kind of relation. So let me explain you this thing in detail. If the relation A is in relation with the B, B is in relation with the C, then A is also in relation with the C. So please observe, if A is in relation with the B, B is in relation with the C, then make sure that A is directly in relation with the C. Okay, so let's understand this concept of transitive relation using this simple example. So this is the set A with the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And observe, this is the example with the relation R, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3. These are the ordered pairs present in that relation. So now, so here I am talking about the first ordered pair 1, 2 and it belongs to that relation R, right? Okay, then the next ordered pair is 2, 3. It also belongs to the same relation R. So friends, what if I directly join this 1 with 3? I am talking about 1, 2, 3. 1 is in relation with the 2, 2 is in relation with the 3, but whether 1, 3 is a part of that relation or not, yes, it is present in the same relation. So please observe, this 1, 3 also belongs to the same relation. Means this is nothing but a transitive kind of relation. So this is called transitive relation. So I hope you got this very simple concept. If 1 is in connection with the 2, 2 is in connection with the 3, then 1 and 3 are also in connection with each other. So there is a high possibility of, let's say there are 3 students, S2, S3, S3, S1, S2, S3. These are the 3 students, and let's say S1 is a friend of S2, S2 is a friend of S3. There is a high possibility of S1 to be a friend of S3. So this particular situation is called transitive kind of relation. Okay, then next type, number 8, very important one. What is equivalence relation? If R is a equivalence relation, then R is a reflexive. Every one of you reflexive. A comma A belongs to that relation. R is a symmetric. A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A also belongs to R. And R is a transitive, like AB belongs to R, BC belongs to R, then AC belongs to R. If one particular relation satisfies all these 3 kind of conditions, if one particular relation is a reflexive, it is also symmetric, it is also transitive. So once again here I am repeating, if the given relation is, let's say R is a given relation and it is reflexive, R is symmetric, R is transitive. If one particular relation satisfies all these 3 conditions, then it is called equivalence relation. If a relation which satisfies all these 3 kind of condition is called equivalence relation. So let's understand a concept of equivalence relation using this example. If I say this is the set A with the elements 1, 2, 3 and this is the relation given in the form of formula, that is the product of AB is always greater than 0 or it is positive, right? Okay, let's cross check whether the given relation is a reflexive relation or not. Every one of you know what is a reflexive. Reflexive means A comma A belongs to that relation. Okay, so the relation in this case is AB greater than 0. Make sure this is the formula for the relation AB greater than 0, or product of A with product of B is greater than 0. Now friends, in this case A is A and B is also A. Therefore, if you substitute A as A but B as A, which is greater than 0, because A square is always greater than 0. Let me explain this thing. If I say A is 1, then if AB is greater than 0, in case of reflexive, A and B are exactly similar. So B is also 1. If you multiply 1 with 1, answer is 1, which is greater than 0. What if I consider second element 2? If I say A is 2, then B is also 2. In that case, this 2 into 2, which is 4, is also greater than 0. If you consider this 3, which is the last element, you will observe 3 into 3 is greater than 0. So 1 comma 1 is greater than 0, 2 comma 2 satisfies greater than 0 condition, 3 comma 3 satisfies this condition of greater than 0 because 3 into 3 is 9, 2 into 2 is 4, 1 into 1 is 1. All of these are greater than 0 values. Therefore, this given relation is definitely a reflexive relation. So this one is reflexive relation because a comma a satisfies over here. Okay, then let's switch over to the next symmetric relation. So let's cross check whether this is a symmetric relation or not. First of all, what is a symmetric relation? If a comma b belongs to the relation, b comma a also belongs to the relation, then it is called a symmetric relation. Okay, let's consider the first ordered pair is, let's say, 1 2, and here I am considering the second ordered pair 2 1, right? So 1 2 and 2 1. So the formula for the relation is ab greater than 0. We want ab greater than 0. This is a, this is b. So what is 1 into 2? It is greater than 0. So this is a, this is b. 2 into 1 is also greater than 0. So this is true, this is true. ab is greater than 0 for 1 2 and 2 1. So friends, 1 2 and 2 1 satisfies this relation, means this is symmetric. If you want, you can cross check with one more. Let's say next order pair among this set quite possible is between 2 3. चलो cross check करते हैं 2 3 के लिए. 2 3. So a is 2, b is 3. So what is 2 into 3 as per this formula? So formula is ab greater than 0. 2 into 3, that is 6, is greater than 0. Is it correct? Then let's change the order. 3 2. What is 3 2? 3 into 2, which is 6, greater than 0, which also satisfies. Therefore, as per as this example is concerned, it satisfies ab greater than equal to 0 even if you change the order ab to ba, like a 2 3 2 3 3 2. Even if you change the ordered pair or sequence in the ordered pair, still it satisfies the same formula ab greater than 0. So definitely it is also a symmetric relation. Okay, now it's a time to cross check transitive kind of relation. So what is transitive? It's like a 1 2 3 are the friends. 1 is a friend of 2, 2 is a friend of 3, then 1 3 is also a friend of each other. So this particular thing is called transitive type of relations. Okay, let's me focus on the relation which is given in the form of formula ab greater than 0. Okay, the case number 1. 1 is a friend of 2. So order pair is 1 2. So 1 into 2, is it greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. Then 2 is a friend of 3. 2 is a friend of 3. So 2 into 3 greater than 0, it satisfies that relation. Okay, then let's cross check whether really this 1 and 3 are friends of each other or not. If 1 3 are the friends of each other, then definitely it will be a transitive relation. Okay, substitute here in this formula. A is 1, b is 3, 1 into 3 is greater than 0, and here this 1 is also a friend of 3. So 1 is a friend of 2, 2 is a friend of 3, and 1 is also a friend of 3. This indicates this is a transitive type of relation. So what is your observation about this entire example, my friends? So the relation AB greater than 0, we talked about a relation AB greater than 0 over this set A. So this one was the relation AB greater than 0 over this set A, and it is coming as a reflexive, it is coming as a symmetric, it is coming as a transitive. And if one particular relation is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, then it is called equivalence relation. So then we are here, the conclusion is the given relation are AB greater than 0 for the set A is reflexive, it is symmetric, it is transitive, hence it is also equivalence relation. Okay, then the next one in the list is antisymmetric relation. What is antisymmetric relation? If the ordered pair A comma B belongs to the relation R, then ordered pair B comma A also belongs to the relation R, and in that case, if A is equal to B, then it is called anti-symmetric relation. We already discussed a symmetric relation, but there is a huge difference between symmetric and anti-symmetric relation. I am talking about anti-symmetric relation. Even though this A and B looks different, but in this case, if you change the order, these two AB belongs to the relation, BA belongs to the relation, and if A is equal to B, then we say it's an anti-symmetric relation. So let's understand this using this example. If I say this is the set A with the element 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say this is the relation which is given. First ordered pair is 1, 3, second is 4, 2, then 2, 4, then 2, 3, then 3, 1. These are the different ordered pairs present in that relation. Now our job is to check whether this is anti-symmetric or not. Okay, so please observe the first ordered pair, that is 1, 3. So friends, 1, 3 belongs to the relation R. Then what about 3, 1? 3, 1 also belongs to the relation R. So if I say this is A, this is B, and this is A, this is B in the second case, you will observe A is equal to B. So this is the first ordered pair, this is the second ordered pair, and you will observe A is equal to B in both the cases. It satisfies this equality, A equal to B. So therefore this is definitely a anti-symmetric relation. If you want, you can cross check it with this 4, 2 and 2, 4. So please observe, this is A, this is B, this is A, this is B for these two ordered pairs, right? Okay, so if you observe A is equal to B and B is equal to A, then it is called anti-symmetric kind of relation, right? So this is anti-symmetric kind of relation. So I hope every one of you got all these different 9 types of relations. So friends, today we discussed total 9 types of relations, and just go through all these 9 types. They are extremely important for your objective examination. Every year they ask one question on types of relations in JEE Main, so it's highly important. Okay, now let's cross check your knowledge and your understanding using this example. So through this example, I really want to check whether you really understood this concept or not. Okay, so here this is the set A with the elements 3, 6, 9 and 12. Okay, this is the relation R which is given with the ordered pair 3, 3 in it, 6, 6 in it, 9, 9 in it, 12, 12 is there, 6, 12, 3, 9, 3, 12, 3, 6, right? Then our job is to identify the type of relation. Okay, the first one is, let's cross check whether it is a reflexive or not. Every one of you, what is the meaning of reflexive? If A comma A belongs to the relation R, then we say it is a reflexive kind of relation. And please observe, this 3, 3 is present in the relation, 6, 6 is present in the relation, 9, 9 is present in the relation, 12, 12 is present in the relation. So if you observe, the set A is 3, 6, 9 and 12, and if all the ordered pairs with this number digits in the set A, 3 as a 3, 3, 6 as a 6, 6, 9 as a 9, 9 and 12 as a 12, 12. So all these ordered pairs are present in this relation R. Therefore definitely it is a reflexive kind of relation. So this is a reflexive relation. But friends, this is not an identity relation. So ask yourself, why this is not an identity relation? So this is not an identity relation. This is not only the sufficient criteria, but for the identity relation, no extra elements are allowed under that relation. Since there are few more elements or few more ordered pairs are present in this relation, therefore this is not an identity relation. So friends, this is not an identity relation, but definitely it is a reflexive one. Okay, then let's cross check the next type, that is symmetric, whether it is a symmetric relation or not. Okay, how to identify a symmetric relation? So if A comma B belongs to the relation, then B comma A also belongs to the same relation. Is this thing is present here in this relation. So please observe 6 comma 12 is present in this relation. Then cross check whether 12 comma 6 is present in that relation or not, and you will observe 6 12 is present in the relation, but 12 6 is not present in that relation. Right? Okay, what about 3 9? 3 9 is present in the relation, but 9 3 is not a part of that relation. Right? 3 12 is present in the relation, but 12 3 is not a part of that relation. 3 6 is present in the relation, but 6 3 is not a part of that relation. So if you reverse the order of the digits in the given ordered pair, and if it is present in the relation, then it is called symmetric. But friends, here I am trying to tell you is, if you consider, let's say 6 12, so 6 12 is a part of that relation, but what about 12 6? Is it a part of that relation? So 12 6 is not a part of that relation. So 12 6, this combination is not present in the relation. That clearly indicates the given relation is not a symmetric relation. So friends, given relation is not a symmetric relation. Okay, then the next type is whether it is a transitive. Okay, what is transitive relation? Every one of you know what is transitive relation. So student 1 is a friend of student 2. Student 2 is a friend of student 3, and if S1 is a friend of S3, then and then only it is called transitive relation. So let's check whether at least one of such a transitive relation exists in this relation R or not. So let me copy this guy over here and let me cross check for the transitive relation. Okay, this is the overall relation which is given, and let me focus on the transitive relation now. Okay, so please observe here this 3 6 6 12 and 3 12. So I'm underlined these three ordered pairs. So first one is 3 6. So 3 is a friend of 6. Then here I underline this 6 12. So you will observe 6 is a friend of 12. So it's between 3 6 and 12. So please observe it's between these three friends 3 6 and 12. So first order says 3 is a friend of 6. Then 6 is also a friend of 12. Then you ask yourself whether this 3 is a friend of 12 or not. And definitely 3 is a friend of 12 because this is also a part of the same relation. So please observe 3 is a friend of 12 and it is given here in this relation. So let me highlight this thing: 6 12, 3 12, 3 6. So please observe these three entries. 3 6 is a part of that relation, 6 12 is a part of that relation. Then cross check 3 12 is a part of that relation or not, and yes, it is a part of that relation. So isn't it like a 3 is a friend of 6, 6 is a friend of 12, then 3 is also a friend of 12. Therefore, this is a transitive relation. Okay, then here I am asking you one simple question: is it an equivalence relation? What is equivalence relation? If a relation is equivalent, then it is reflexive, it is symmetric, and it is transitive. If one particular relation satisfies all these conditions, then and then only it is an equivalence relation. As far as this example is concerned, it is reflexive, it is transitive, but it is not symmetric. Since it is not symmetric, therefore it is not a equivalence relation. And that's all, friend. This is all about today's very interesting, very wonderful session on equivalence relations. So transitive relations, reflexive relations, symmetric relations, asymmetric relations, identity relations, these are all different types of relations. And let me tell you, definitely you will come across one particular problem on these different types of relations. So that's all, friend. This is all about this lecture number 3 on the relations, in which I covered different types of relations. So just watch this video one more time, and I hope every one of you noted down all these different types of relations. And if you have any doubts, you can send me in the comment box, or if you want, you can send me it individually too. So that's all, friend. This is all about today's session. Thanks for joining. and we will meet once again in the next session with problems on relations. So in next session I'm going to cover different multiple choice questions on relations. Till then, goodbye and all the best.